Esports, this tournament's so sick.
Oh, I like that, Tasteless. Yeah, it is, though.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's true. They're going to be joining the game shortly, and then we'll try to get this going as soon as possible. I think we're a little bit behind schedule here. You were really tickled by that, huh?
That was funny.
He didn't know I was going to do that. He thought I was going to open up normally. We just saw the coolest game. One of the coolest games I've ever seen.
That best of 5 was just one of the best ever. Like, Vortex likes to look dead. He's like a possum, right?
He's a possum.
You go over,
sir.
you're like, oh, this thing's dead. But unlike a possum, then he gets up and kills you.
It's a zombie possum.
Zombie possum.
Those are the most dangerous kind of possums.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I read a book about it. So we are still waiting for our Zerg player to join the game.
Yeah.
Looks like MVP is ready to go. So are we going to have a bunch of Zergs, or is MVP going to move through this? What do you think?
Look, sLivko is actually, I keep saying it, he's a great Zerg. He's a great Zerg player. He's very tough. I could see him taking it, but I have to give MVP the leg up on this one. I think that he will move on, and he will probably become the next victim of Vortex.
Well, you know, this is one of these moments where the Korean Terrans just aren't looking scary today, which I would say statistically and historically, Korean Terrans are probably the scariest amongst the Koreans.
Yeah.
They got some scary Protosses, they got some scary Zergs, but overwhelmingly, it's the Korean Terrans.
Terrans just play on a different level than all the Terrans outside of Korea.
Yeah. They're on a completely other level.
Yeah.
Here's MVP, the highest ranked player in the world by GSL standards. He is very scary. He's one of these guys who just goes around winning everything. He hasn't won as much money, but...
yeah, he's only won like 300,000 or so.
I know.
It's kind of low compared to,
low.
you know, MC and ST, I guess.
It's too bad.
Actually, I think he won more than ST now.
No, he has. ST's number 3, I believe.
Okay.
And we have the game ready. So let's do this. Are you guys excited? All right. In the bottom right, we have our Terran player with the last hope for the Terrans, the best Terran in the world. Give it up for MVP. And in the bottom left, we have our Zerg player playing so well. The foreign Zerg here. Give it up for sLivko.
Well, they're starting out on Antigua, and after the game we just saw, I don't know if this will be as epic Tasteless, but good to get out of the way, right?
Yeah, you know, the last series is going to be pretty hard to beat. I'm sure this will be a good series. Now, this is going to be sLivko's greatest challenge yet.
Yes.
MVP, you know, this guy has been there since the beginning of StarCraft 2, and he's continuing to dominate. He was a very good StarCraft 1 pro gamer. Actually, a really nice guy. We know a lot of the IEM guys in person very well.
Yeah.
I would say the best team out there, they don't perform the best in Team League.
Yeah.
But I guess if you just to rake in all the raw data for their accomplishments, it's pretty insane. It's basically unmatched.
Yeah, it's completely unmatched. That is for sure. But you know, Rock's Kiss is actually a great team as well, and a lot of people don't know that. They're a legendary Russian team from StarCraft 1. You know, Bruce, their manager from StarCraft 1, used to be a pro gamer there, assembled basically the best of Russia and put them together on this team. And they've just been killing it in StarCraft 1. And now in StarCraft 2, we're starting to see them pop up. sLivko has been going to a lot of tournaments and placing deeply. It just hasn't gotten like a top 4 or top 2 or a win yet. But that is coming in his future for sure.
Well, it looks like we got a quick command center here. And we're going to start this off on the map that we just ended our last series on, Antigua Shipyard. Tough map for sLivko to start out on.
And it's actually a command center first into barracks and gas right away. So this is very similar to what we saw in the last set with Supernova. Just pretty greedy overall.
The refinery finishes, and when this barracks is done, we're probably going to have a factory made right around here.
It would be really weird to have anything else made, I have to say.
No, that would be very strange. We'd have to start really analyzing this.
And sLivko actually was making a gas and then canceled it. That's pretty interesting to see, actually.
Yeah.
You know, he may have been doing that for a little larva trick. get out an extra drone or something like that. But it was making for a long time, so I think he actually was planning on getting speed, then decided, you know what, no, I'm gonna make a ton of drones and really work on my mineral economy. So I gotta ask myself, am I gonna see sLivko go for 6 queens, 4 queens, or something in between, which would be 5 queens?
Look at you, numbers guy.
I know. I'm all over the place.
And we have the CD coming up here, taking some hits from Zerglings. And actually, unfortunately, not getting any intel. Wow, that's a really bad start there for MVP.
Yeah, that was not a very good scout whatsoever. He literally saw nothing but a little bit of creep.
And so, again, very standard stuff. We're not wizards here. If you are not a StarCraft 2 person, you're watching this right now, this is just what Terrans do always in this matchup.
Yes. Looks like he's not actually going to go into Banshees of any sort. Going to throw down a couple more barracks instead. And sLivko is about to finish 2 more queens. Will he make 2 more after that? He is already getting his 3rd base, and no gas yet, so I would say for sure he's going to go up to the 6 queens. We will see, though, in just a second.
Now remember, our Zerg player here plays totally differently from Vortex. sLivko, a lot more of I'd say your conventional Zerg play. I don't feel that this guy always is trying to build up to the late game. You have like Elfie, it's like, well, this guy's going to get a mothership in the PvZ.
Yeah.
Probably won't end
this. If his 2-base all-in doesn't kill you, you will get that mothership.
He will get that mothership, deal with it. But, with, and the same thing with Vortex. He always gets those Bird Lords. I don't think we got to really cast any games with him unless he lost to a rush where he didn't get the Bird Lords out. So this game is, these 2 guys very different. I'd say a little bit more well-rounded.
Yeah, I would go with that as well. sLivko plays for the long game almost all the time, and MVP does absolutely anything. Very good at the long game and the early game. But right now we do have some Hellions going up to hit the 3rd base, and we actually had sLivko only go up to 4 queens, so he doesn't have a lot of defense against Hellions right now. No speed for Zerglings or anything like that. He's actually throwing down some spines and making a Roach Warren. So that's going to be how he chooses to actually try to defend against this.
All right, the Hellions backing off now. 3rd base is up and secure, and a spine crawler here just in case.
We do have Stim on the way as well as a lot of Marauders, so we're going to see that same timing that we saw before, where you go down with the Hellions, with some Marauders and Marines, with Stim, combat shields, all the good stuff, and try to get some real damage on.
And now, the Queens just continue to push out creep. MVP, this guy is actually the reason why Terran is played the way it is. Whoop, hold on. Queen almost goes down.
Ooh, some nice micro there by MVP, killing off a few lings. Any units that he can reduce right now is really, really helpful. And in fact, sLivko even getting some spores, so he's really not sure what's going on. As far as he knows, a Banshee's coming, and he has to get ready for it.
Yeah. So what I was saying earlier is this guy basically is the reason why Terran is played the way it is, because MVP came up with all the builds. That's why we called him the Game Genie Terran. He was just so good, and pause.
Like maybe a little issue going on.
Yep. Occasionally, mouse cord gets stuck or something like that, and it looks like he's actually fine.
Actually,
ready to go.
Think you're exactly right. I think that's exactly what happened.
I did it, man. And we're going to have one of those timing attacks here where, it's actually just like what we saw from Supernova.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he can get something done with it, Tasteless. There is one spine crawler, actually. He did cancel that second one. Making roaches, making lings. It looks like Zergling speed just finished up for him, so that's a good timing. And now the attack is going to commence. Does sLivko actually have enough to hold this off, though?
This game could end very quickly. Then again, 16 lings on the way here, and a lot more Marauders than Marines here. I think he was expecting more roaches. Then again, the Hellions could clean that up as well.
Well, MVP already stimmed, so sLivko's trying to wait out that stim because, of course, there are no medevacs to heal, and the stim just now wearing off. The lings coming up, a lot of queens and roaches. He's pulled everything to try to do this, flanking from the other side as well. Does sLivko actually have enough to hold him off?
MVP controlling his army really well. If he gets under the high ground, no, he's going to back up. But the Hellions are in a bad position here, taking a lot of damage from those roaches.
That is right. The queens also have a lot of transfuses left, using that very wisely, but the rest of his units are almost dead. And look at that. He's basically held for now.
I feel like I'm in this bizarro world where Korean Terrans are losing right now to non-Koreans, but I guess that's just my reality, guys.
That is indeed.
That's just what's happening right now.
And it should be. These guys are playing so well.
So well.
In fact, sLivko is looking so strong. Look at this, 109 supply to 89. He's got 62 drones. He's got a lot of roaches and a lot of queens, and is also teching up quite heavily, going for that infestation pit. His 1-1 for Lings is almost done, and the Baneling speed is almost halfway. So he's basically prepared for everything, and he's got a great economy.
Well, it does. Oh, excuse me. There is a command center over here, so he's going to go ahead and move that over here in just a little bit. Judging from the number of attacking units that are being made, we may actually have a counterattack over here on the third. And I'm saying that because I'm seeing all these Banelings getting morphed over here.
Yeah, that definitely could be. He's making a lot of links, as you said, Tasteless, and getting his fourth base in the center. So he's decided that since he already has this many units and he's already kind of beaten down MVP a little bit as far as army goes, that he is able to take that base. We'll see if he can keep it, though.
And here we are. We have the command center coming down. And will we have an attack? You know what? I guess not. But damn, sLivko, you're pretty ballsy. You're actually going to expand to that location. This really says that he really feels like he can actually hold this, no problem.
Yeah. Well, we have Hive and Spire on the way, so he's checking up to those Broodlords, and sLivko definitely one of the best at controlling those against Terran. He's just so good with that Broodlord composition. But can he get there while having this fourth base, not losing it? That is what's so important.
Spine crawlers coming up here. sLivko making those Banelings. Did he get Burrow? No, he didn't have Burrow yet. I was wondering if we were going to see some Burrowed Banelings. All right, and the Medivacs moving out right now. This base, though, actually not that well defended. He could actually land it right here, which is what he's going to do, and probably pull off some damage. Yeah,
these Medivacs could be a problem. You know, he doesn't really have anti-air. The only things he has is some Infestors popping out and some Queens. No mutas or anything of the sort.
Ling spilling in here, hitting him so hard, he picks up. He begins to back off.
And as we see here, MVP trying to get something done, but oh, the Queen's almost taking out that Medivac.
Yeah,
that would have
really
been a big deal. And sLivko's actually mining from the center. His Hive just finished up, and he started his Greater Spire. This is sLivko's playing very well here, but MVP's getting ready, Tasteless. He is starting to move out.
The push distance here is very short. And it's very tough for the Zerg to prepare. That's one of the reasons why this map is so hard.
He's got to be
careful.
careful.
He's like not watching his army right now. All his stuff just died.
You know, that many units could be what makes the difference. He cannot be losing little groups of units here and there. He needs a gigantic swarm to actually hold this off.
All right, Marines gunning down these drones here. Ling's coming in here, stimming and running away now. He's going to have the next group come over here and try to defend that.
Oh, sLivko just kind of hemorrhaging units right now. He's having a hard time. Looks like he'll probably lose this hatchery. Hopefully he'll save those drones that all seem to want to get gassed so bad before they die.
And here's what we're talking about. This hatchery does go down.
But we do have the attack on the high ground, trying to go for these siege tanks with slow roaches and some Lings, but sLivko really not doing a good job of hanging on right now. He's losing all of his ground army, and MVP's supply is basically caught up.
All right, he's regrouped here in the center. And this is what we were talking about in the previous game that we just casted, guys, is that Zergs tend not to expand here, even when they're ahead, because it's just so hard to actually hold against a Terran, the siege tanks.
Yeah, and sLivko was very messy with all that as well.
You know, it's MVP. I know he's the best in the world, but should he really be pushing here? I don't think so.
Yeah, you know, he's actually just made 2 more starports to help out with Viking production to take out these Broodlords, so definitely pulling back as he's doing now is the right choice for him. He's got to get those Vikings up and get that unit composition that can very cost efficiently deal with sLivko's army, which is very low in economy right now.
We have the command center on the way now, and he's going to try to take this location. sLivko's going to double expand. That's not even like a move of desperation. That's just he has the money to do that. He lost the production facility. He might as well make 2 more hatcheries.
It's a good choice, too, but 2 Marines up at one of them, really dealing a lot of damage to that hatchery. A little bit annoying, so he does already know about that area. I'm sure the MVP will send something over there, whether it's a Medivac or just a few Marines during another battle.
5 Corruptors over here now. MVP pushing out. Oh, no, excuse me. He stopped right there. So he's probably going to make a planetary here. You almost never see an orbital over here.
And you know what? This is looking bad for sLivko. MVP is producing 4 Vikings at a time. He already has 7 out. There's only 5 Corruptors and 4 Infestors for anti-air, so that is not what he wants.
Oh my God, excuse me, we have a little drop here. Taking out the Spine Crawler. Now the angle here is actually going to make these Zerglings not anywhere near as effective. So these are, as you said earlier, hemorrhaging units here. In fact, he's going to barely hold this up.
Yeah, that's right. And in the meantime, ooh, some nice fungal growths going off. These Broodlords trying to do what they can. The Vikings coming in from the side. But is there actually too much here for MVP? A lot of Marines targeting down Corruptors. But sLivko does continue to push forward.
sLivko fighting back, guys. Unbelievable. He overextended there, and he wasn't able to kill off all the Corruptors in time. And the Broodlords just had their way with those ground units.
Yeah, this is really good for sLivko right now. He's actually way up in supply after that. He's got his 4th base up and mining once again. A lot of Corruptors on the way. And MVP is really focusing on Vikings. So this is all going to turn into mostly an air war.
Well, he's pushed back MVP a little bit. sLivko runs over here in a heartbeat and just comes and snaps down this expansion. Is he going to be able to save it in time? Blings and Banelings coming up here. The expansion at half health. 1/4 health.
Yeah,
and
looks like
he's going to engage these Zerglings. But again, the Banelings are on the way here. He needs to split well.
Oh, wow. Is he actually going to save this hatchery somehow? No, not quite.
Nope. Takes it out.
Well, that's too bad. sLivko really did want to keep that. He should have killed those rocks, actually, that we saw in the last game from Vortex. It's a very helpful thing to do to defend a base like that in these positions. Now, the Broodlord count's getting scarier and scarier. He's actually going to go up to, it looks like, 8. And a lot of Corruptors out, a lot of Banelings on the way as well.
And I don't know, man. They're both maxed out.
But that's
Zerg,
a lot of Vikings.
Yeah, but the thing is, Zerg does have the high ground here, so the ground units are not going to be that helpful. It's going to be hard for them to get up there and target down, the air units here.
Very right, Tasteless.
And while this is going on, he's going to lose all these SCVs and potentially the planetary. Here we go.
And the Vikings coming in from all over the place right now. And some nice fungal growths going down. The Marines coming up. They're going to want to target down anything that flies. But the Banelings coming down to help out. And does sLivko actually have enough? He has a ton of Corruptors right now. They do have that +1 attack. Oh my God, sLivko just killed the 4th base of MVP.
And he doesn't really have any more options now. He's going to have to relocate an orbital over here. I can't believe this. This is like the week of Broodlords here. I've lost count of how many Broodlords I've seen if you add together all the games I've casted.
Well, the Viking count is falling, Tasteless. sLivko maxing out once again. MVP with a desperation drop down at the 3rd of sLivko. But he just has so much right now. I'm not sure what MVP is hoping to accomplish.
Yeah, I think he just has too much, and he has this source of income over here. Pretty epic game as well, just like our last one. And, man, takes out the Overlords here. And, okay, MVP now pushing back. Broodlords have backed up. It looks like he might even let him reclaim this so he can kill it again and end this game. These Marines are doing a lot of damage, by the way. And actually, MVP is so aggressive, he's just going to push over here, try to get this hatchery as well. Maybe not a good idea with this many Zerg units.
I don't think it's going to work, man. These Corruptors are going to clean up the Vikings and then go after the Medivacs even. Everything just falling for MVP right now, but he's killed the 3rd base, so that's good. sLivko is only mining from 1 location, and that's a dangerous location, as we've mentioned several times.
We're getting to the volatile point of this game here. Taking out these Marines. This base has been reclaimed. Where is SCVs? He needs to have SCVs over there. He's super saturated over here.
Now, sLivko has stabilized. He's stopped the drops. He's stopped the harassment. It's time for him to now push forward and end the 4th base of MVP. He's got very few minerals left in his natural and 3rd base, so if he can kill that, MVP is going to be mining almost nothing.
GG. MVP has been slain in game number 1.
Wow. sLivko, man,
dude,
taking out MVP in spectacular fashion. I thought he would lose it after he just lost so many units on the high ground in the middle and his 4th base as well. But he did a great job. He came back with those Broodlords. Just perfect maneuvering.
Well, that's a little bit of a shocker. We're seeing two Zergs be two best Terrans in the world on Antigua Shipyard.
In fact, if he wins this, the top 4 of a tournament full of Koreans is going to be 3 foreigners and a Korean. That would be craziness.
That's a little weird. MVP can't be happy with that last game. He played it the way you should play it. Let the 4th base occur and then play it to your advantage. But he out-muscled sLivko back there. And I think we're going to get this game started pretty soon here, Artosis.
Yes.
Is sLivko going to win this, or is MVP going to come back?
Well, I tell you what, that map can be very difficult. Anytime that sLivko doesn't get damaged early, he gets an insane economy, and he just does a great job of pushing around with Broodlords. He's just so good at maneuvering. So